Hello, hi. I just wanted to talk about when the first born child or the first born daughter, it is a lot of the time becomes like a third parent of sorts. I was recently talking with my sister and she revealed the high esteem, she held me on the highest pedestal that anybody can hold a being, and it made me very uncomfortable. It made me very upset because um she held me to a standard, like she was looking at being like that's what she was aspiring to be, and that was the example. And I look back at my childhood and I look back, like I'm trying to get out of those habits and those tendencies. Those are the things that I'm trying to grow from, and the fact that she looks back at that, and that is what that's what she found inspiring, really just kind of upset me, because when you're that third you're that third parent, you're that oldest child that your parents lean on, and you start adopting perfectionist tendencies. In our case, we had parents who became parents really young, so they were children. So, and as children usually are, they were very selfish and I give them grace and whatnot, but I'm learning to still hold them accountable for that. Um, and so as a child, what she's looking up to, as a child, I literally I saw at a very young age, hey, okay, I'm, these are two irresponsible people that I'm finding to be unreliable. I don't feel like I can lean on them for certain things. So I developed this hyper independence about myself, and she saw how I developed that hyper independence and how I got stuff done through very toxic ways. I was very isolated. I isolated myself a lot, but I still got stuff done. I made sure I always looked like I was okay, smiling. I never cried. Um, at points, I was that person that my parents emotionally relied on. Like, I was that person trying to offer that emotional thing for the family, and I was some sort of middleman between my parents once they decided to go their separate ways. And I guess she saw that as, oh, this is a reliable person that I need to put up on this pedestal. This is what I want to aspire to be. And these are things I'm trying to break away from right now. And to hear her tell me the pedestal that she had me on in her head just really kind of bothered my spirit. It really did. um, because man, I'm starting therapy because of these habits and patterns that our childhood put on to me, because of the hyper independence that I struggle with. The fact that I don't feel comfortable asking for help because just the two people I was supposed to be able to rely on for certain things weren't able to at that time. Um, I don't want to get too deep into my stuff, but um, my dad is way better. Um, I feel like my mom's working on herself. Um, but I still see those patterns from when I was a child, and I was like, I just I'm trying to work on myself, and I'm like, I don't want you looking back and saying, wow, somehow she knew what to do from day one. I want to aspire to do that. No, I want my sister, I want myself, I want anybody like to know that you can ask for help, to not hold people on a pedestal because you don't know what their thought process is and how they get stuff done. Um, and to get help when you need it. I'm getting therapy. Whatever looks right to you in the moment. Um, but I'm like realizing, like really like reflecting on how much I was relied upon in my family when I was younger, and how like the past couple of years I've been kind of trying to lean out of that because I was always in that because I was always in that position, or always put in that position um to be that person that everyone needs. I can find myself like still saying, "Oh, y'all aren't gonna do it right." I'm intervening, and I'm like, I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of that being the muscle I flex instead of saying, you know what, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let other people handle this because I feel like I can trust and have faith in the people around me. Because I couldn't have trust and have faith in the people in my parents as a young child, why would I trust anybody else? Why would I trust anybody else? Because to do something right if the people who raised me couldn't do right at that time, you know? Why would I ask for help when I couldn't ask them for help? And I'm not putting my parents down at all. They were dealt cards, and they did with those cards the best they could. They really did. And I love them. Like, but I'm still gonna hold them accountable. They still had kids. Like, they still um I mean, it was their responsibility to learn, and like there's a whole there's other layers. There's so many layers on top of that. There's like generational trauma, generational patterns that we have to break away from, but still like um I just don't feel like I'm that person to look up to, like especially in the past. I would rather her look up to my separating myself from, or attempting to separate myself from the drama, not me dealing with the drama, looking simply looking like I'm dealing with it, or thriving while intervening, being a middleman and whatnot. Because I was through all of those situations, I was breaking down inside. I was letting my own projects, my own things fall apart for the sake of making sure somebody felt like they were put together. Like, it hurts, like, thinking that she saw that as strength when I was acting from a place of fear. And like, truthfully, I don't Like, I don't want to feel resentful for my childhood. I'm very grateful to my parents, but stuff like that, like me and my sister grew up together. We're like, we're not that far apart in age, but like, I'm like, wow. Like, we now my parents did the best with the cards that they were dealt. Now there's cards that we are being, like, we are sifting through, and I'm trying to be in that place where I'm believing, hey, like, we were dealt cards, but that doesn't mean we can't shuffle the deck and pick new ones. That doesn't mean that we don't have access to the whole deck. We don't have to deal with these cards that we were dealt. We have access to that full thing, and us choosing to only see those cards is going to lead us down the same generational patterns and trauma that our parents went down. And while I'm like, while I felt in the past like I did not need therapy because I'm very good at analyzing myself. While I may know where things come from, I'm realizing that I do not have a game plan on, like, reducing. What is the word? I don't know. I don't have a game plan in stopping the habits that those things cause. I can say, oh, I do this thing because these things, but I don't have a game plan to stop doing this thing. I hope that makes sense. But I don't have a game plan to stop doing this thing, but I know why I do it. That's why I started therapy. I thought, oh, if I know where it comes from, then I'm fine. No. No. Also, I just, like, I don't know. I think I might be done with this video. If anyone watches this and you're a third parent of sorts, oldest child, oldest daughter, what's your experience with that? Do you feel like you're the person who's always leaned on? Do you feel like you don't want to be leaned on so hard? Do you feel like you can't lean on anybody else because you're being leaned on? Do you feel like you have an obligation to always be there even when you don't have the capacity? Do you feel like you are like this, you know what you're doing in life, and also don't know what you're doing at all at the same time? That's like been my experience. Because I'm like, I was a mature child because of this. I was such a mature child. Like, everyone's like, oh, she doesn't need anything. She doesn't need anything. She's always fine. And like, I was like really praised for that. And I'm like, no, I'm just keeping quiet because I realize that my needs aren't being met, and that when I don't have, when I don't, not, and when I'm not expressing needs, that I'm not let down because I don't feel like they're going to be met. I don't know. Do you feel like Um, I don't know, what type of household did you come from? Why were your parents not reliable? I feel like part of our problem was their maturity at the time. They were like teens. They were teens and they were navigating having a bunch of kids. Not a bunch, well, a bunch for their age. I don't know. I'm trying not to like tell too much on business, but yeah, but yeah, tell me what your experience are. If anyone watches this video, I just felt I had this on my heart. I'm tired, but it's like running through my mind. So we're getting it out so I can get some sleepy time. So yeah. Y'all have a great day. Jacker, you have a great day. I love you.